When you think of Japan, you probably think of longevity. But it's more than just living a long time, right? It's about seeing people in their 90s who are still active, still walking around, still full of life. So what's really going on here? What's their secret? Well, we're going to dive in and find out.
To really get a sense of what we're talking about, just look at this number. Over 90,000. That's how many people in Japan are 100 years old or older. I mean, that's not just a statistic, that's an incredible pool of knowledge about how to live a long and, more importantly, a healthy life. And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? It's not just about hitting the century mark. The real magic is the quality of those years, the fact that so many are still so independent. So yeah, what is the secret? What are they doing every day that builds these incredibly resilient bodies?
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at their big longevity secret. Then, we'll get into some stretches to undo our modern desk-bound lives. After that, we'll unlock our body's mobility, dive into the secret of spine health, and finally, we'll talk about the real power of recovery.
So what is this foundational secret to staying strong, flexible, and independent for so long? Well, it's something that is so simple, most of us probably overlook it. It's the consistent daily practice of stretching. It's not about being a hardcore athlete, it's about making it a habit.
Okay, let's kick things off with a problem we can all relate to: sitting. We sit way too much. In big cities like Tokyo, people might be at their desks for 10 hours a day. So they've built two incredibly simple stretches right into their daily routines to fight back against all that sitting.
First up, we've got the Cobra pose. This has become a staple in Japanese office culture. Their occupational doctors actually recommend it because it directly helps extend the spine, the exact part of your body that gets crunched up from sitting all day.
And get this, this isn't just some feel-good stretch. There is hard data here. A study from the University of Tokyo found that workers who did this stretch just twice a day for 30 seconds saw a 47% reduction in lower back pain in only 3 weeks. That is a huge return for such a tiny investment of time.
And it's so easy to do. You just lie face down, put your hands near your shoulders. Now the key here is to keep your hips glued to the floor. Then you just slowly raise your upper body, extending your arms only as far as feels good. Think of it as a gentle lift, not a big push-up.
Okay, and here's the pro tip for doing it right. You want to keep your shoulders pulled down away from your ears and try to relax your glutes. The biggest mistake people make is trying to push themselves way too high too fast. That just tenses up your neck and kind of defeats the whole purpose. Gentle and slow is the name of the game. All right, our second stretch to fight that desk job slump is the wall calf stretch. This one is a huge part of Ragio Taiso, which is this national gymnastics program that's been broadcast on the radio in Japan since like 1928. It's done everywhere, companies, schools, you name it.
And this quote right here is why this stretch is so vital. In Japan, they actually call the calf the body's second heart. Why? Because it's crucial for pumping blood from your legs all the way back up to your actual heart, fighting against gravity the whole time. So healthy calves mean healthy circulation. Simple as that.
And here's how you do it. Just stand facing a wall, about an arm's length away. Step one foot forward and stretch the other one back. Now the trick is to keep both of your heels flat on the floor as you lean into the wall. You should feel this amazing stretch in the calf of your back leg.
Okay, so we've done some damage control for sitting all day. Now, let's get proactive. Let's talk about unlocking our body's overall mobility. These next couple of stretches are all about opening up the hips and lengthening those key muscles that let us move freely, without all the aches and pains.
First up is the pigeon pose. This stretch is super popular in Japan, and for a good reason. It directly counteracts the effects of traditional sitting postures like kneeling in seiza. By keeping the hips open, it helps you hold on to that crucial mobility as you get older, making simple things like standing up from a chair way easier.
So you'll start on your hands and knees, then bring one knee forward so it's near your hand. Then just extend the other leg straight back behind you. From there, you just gradually, gently lower your hip down towards the floor. Remember, the goal isn't pain. It's finding that sweet spot of a good stretch and then just breathing into it.
Okay, next up is an absolute powerhouse of a stretch, the downward facing dog. This pose is especially huge in Okinawa. That region that's world famous for having so many healthy centenarians. It's a daily ritual for them, and there's a good reason why.
And that reason is because it's just so darn efficient. It's like a 2-for-1 special for your body.
It stretches out the entire backside of you, from your heels all the way up to your fingertips, but at the same time, it's strengthening your arms, your shoulders, and your core. It's basically a total body reset in just one pose.
All right, now we're getting to what some consider the real treasure of Japanese body wisdom, spine health. They have this deep understanding that a flexible, healthy spine is directly linked to your quality of life, especially as you get older.
There's this saying among Japanese geriatric doctors that it really hits home. A person's age can be measured by the flexibility of their spine. Wow. Just think about that for a second. It's not about gray hair or wrinkles. Real youthfulness is in how you move. And that all starts with the spine.
And that leads us right to the cat-cow pose. This simple, flowing movement is actually prescribed in longevity clinics across Japan. It helps lubricate the joints in your spine, and just as importantly, it really improves your body awareness, which is absolutely fundamental for preventing falls later in life.
So you start on your hands and knees. As you breathe in, you arch your back up to the ceiling, kind of like an angry cat. Then, as you breathe out, you drop your belly towards the floor and lift your head, like a cow. The real magic here, though, is connecting each slow movement with your breath. It's almost like a moving meditation.
And that brings us to our final and honestly, maybe the most profound section of all. Because the deepest secret to Japanese longevity isn't just about being active. It's about intentional, powerful recovery. This is where the real strength and longevity are built.
We'll start with the butterfly pose. This simple stretch is a perfect example of the Japanese philosophy that true strength actually comes from flexibility. In fact, kids in Japanese elementary schools learn this stretch from a young age, so they're building a foundation of healthy hips for their entire lives.
But that brings us to our final and most important stretch. After all this movement, all this activity, what do you think is the single most powerful stretch of all for a long and healthy life?
It's child's pose. And this is where all that wisdom comes together. The secret isn't just in the doing, it's in the undoing. It's knowing how to recover, how to reset your body. This pose is like a physical signal to your entire system that it's time for deep rest.
And the benefits are just immense. It releases tension from your heels all the way to your neck. It gives that overworked lower back a gentle, much-needed stretch. But most importantly, it encourages that deep belly breathing that flips the switch on your parasympathetic nervous system. That's your body's rest and digest mode, which is in charge of all the cellular repair and recovery.
So, when you look at all 7 of these stretches, the big lesson, the overarching philosophy from Japanese wisdom is this: consistency always outweighs intensity. It is not about one epic, crazy workout. It's about the small, gentle things you do every single day that add up over a lifetime.
Which really just leaves us with one last question. All of these practices, even if you just do them for 10 minutes a day, can make a huge difference in how you age. So the only question left is, what 10 minutes will you choose today to invest in your next 50 years?